Hey everybody, Fish Lottie here with Fish Review. Today I want to show you this little air pump that I found. I think this is really cool. It's an automatic air pump. It comes on when the power goes off. It has a built-in rechargeable battery. You charge it up by USB. I put one in the house. It's really quiet, so I like that. Let's see what's inside the box here though. This is cool. Open it up. Inside the box you get a little air pump. You get bubble wrap. Get rid of that. And you get 2 pieces of hose with a big air stone on each one, okay? A nice little silicone hose and a cord. You also get 2 check valves in case you're installing the air pump below the level of your water in your aquarium. I like to put them up above if possible so that can't happen, but if they're below, you've got the chance for a siphon to form, so anytime the air pump's there, you should have a check valve. It comes with 2 of them, so that's good. What it doesn't come with is a USB plug, like a charger cube. I figure you guys have got those laying around the house. That's why it's not in here. You can buy those too. But just make sure when you get one of these, whichever one of these you choose, you pick one that's big enough for this pump. I can tell you how to tell here in a minute what size you need. I'll put that there. So here's the pump. Okay, it's just a little guy. It's got rubber feet. It's got a clip on the back, I guess, in case you're going to wear it on your belt buckle. I don't know. But maybe you could put it on the wall this way. That would be cool if you had something there. That would be nice. And it's got 2 ports for the output, and it's got over here on this side the USB input, okay? And inside is a lithium-ion battery that will charge by your USB, and when your power goes out, your fish will still have air. Now, when I look on the internet, what's one of the #1 reasons I think happens? Why do fish die suddenly? People get on there on all these Facebook forums, they're called groups, Facebook groups, and they put this, my fish all suddenly died. They were fine last night, and I woke up this morning, they're all dead. What disease got them? The disease of no oxygen. I'm sorry, nothing else kills all your fish overnight other than, like the heater boils them or something really extreme, but they always say all the parameters were right, but then that leaves you pretty much with an oxygen problem. Now that could have happened from too much dechlorinator, the list goes on, but in general, it's safer to have an air pump. Now, over the years, I've often not run an air pump in the house because it's noisy. I don't like it. This one's pretty quiet. I've been happy with it. It's the first time I've had an air pump in the house where it doesn't drive me berserk. The rubber feet work on it. They have nice pointy tips. I think that really helps it. Sits on the table and it does not vibrate. If you get it on the tank, I sit it on top of my tank, put it in a good spot, and it just works. So I'll show you how this works here. This is really cool. We take the tubing, which comes with it, and oh yeah, they make it so fun to get to. Okay, we'll just undo it part way. Okay, now we stick that in there. Stick this on here, like that. We'll grab the other one so we get a full demo of its capabilities. Ow. Oh, and if we're going to use the check valves here, we have to put them in the right direction. There's an arrow on it, okay? The arrow shows the direction of the airflow. So it has to be coming out of the pump through the arrow, and so you'd have to cut the tubing. I could show you how you would do it like this, phase 2 tubes. So there it is. It would go into that. The pump goes through here, goes through there, the arrow going that way, and then the next tube would go here, and your air stone would go. That's not an air stone. Your air stone would go here. Okay, so then that's all you'd need. Now, we'll do it. I won't put those here for the demonstration. We'll just get that all out of the way. Okay, so there's one hose, one air stone, another hose, pull it loose, put it on here. If you had this model, there's a model, this is the 228, this has 2 outputs. The 218 has 1 output. It's a tad cheaper, sometimes, not always, but if you don't want to use both outputs, you could leave one open if it's not making too much noise. I don't think I'd cap it off. I think that would hurt the pump. So we'll use both here. Now here's the cool part. This one's charged up. I already had it plugged in. I can flip it on and I get all these lights like this. And the little lights are how much charge the battery has. The big light is the status. So if it's solid blue, it's just going to run continuously. If I click it again, this will blink. That means it's going to run 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Supposedly, this could run up to 70 hours in that mode. I don't know. I haven't tested it that far yet. But then if I click it again, it goes off. Now, If you put it on your aquarium, what you want to do is have it on a USB, and it does come with a USB cord, like I said. Take that cord. We'll plug it into this guy here. Always got to do it the wrong way first. So if you plug it in like this while the lights are off, which means it's completely off, it's going to plug in. It's going to have a red light, and it's going to show you that it's charging. This last bar is blinking because it's not fully charged at the moment. It's really, really close. Okay, now from that point, I could turn this thing on, and this light is solid, so it's going to run continuously. I'll show you here. Got airflow. Okay, so we get air bubbles out of it. You can see that. Okay, now if I click this again, it'll go in that every 10 seconds mode, and as it hits, it'll just cycle on and off, which really does save some battery, and really that's probably enough air in an emergency. Okay, so power outages might go on for days in some cases, and there it is off, it'll come back on. We'll give it just a couple seconds, and there you go, back on. Okay, so I'll click the button again, and it's now off. Okay, like that, if you're in that mode, you could leave it that way, and maybe you don't want to run an air pump normally. Maybe your aquarium's okay with that. You don't have too many fish, don't have too many plants. All those are reasons why you really should have an air pump. But if you have a really lightly stocked aquarium that you know is always safe, doesn't run out of air, you leave it like this if you wanted to. And then when the power goes out, we'll just unplug the power from it. It comes on automatically. Okay, and then it'll give you air for as long as it can and protect your fish. Now I plug it in again. The power is going to come back on eventually. I hate USB. The old USBs, the new USBs are so much better. The old ones I hate. Okay. Now I plugged it in. What happened? It's still running. I think it says it's supposed to shut off when the power comes back on. It doesn't. You have to manually take care of that first on your own. Turn it off by cycling through the button. Okay. And what I do on mine, I just leave it on all the time. It's always running. And when the power goes off, it keeps running. So that's, for me, fine. My aquarium in the house has a lot of plants. It has some catfish in it that don't like low oxygen. And it's so much better to just keep air on it all the time. It's a 75 gallon, and this is fine for that tank. It's all it needs. It's got the 2 outputs, more than enough as far as I'm concerned. So far, this has been really good. I like this thing. Now, the next thing I want to do is push this out of the way. I'm going to turn this guy off. I'm going to get these wet tubes out of the way. Okay. I'm really curious what it looks like inside. Let's check it out. I'm going to unplug it. Now, the problem is, say, turn itself on, turn it off. It's off. It has battery in it, so there's a lot of juice in there, but let's just see what's inside this guy. All right. I just turned it. Push the button. I'll have to watch that. Okay, let's do that again. Let's see if I don't destroy this thing. I hope not. I kind of like it. I've got obviously more than one, but I still want to use it somewhere. Okay, come on. Okay, that's out. How hard are we to open? Oh, look at that. Okay, cool. Ooh, we gotta make sure that goes in right. There we go. Can we see that there up on the other camera? Okay, it's got 2 diaphragms. So there's one for each side. Of course, eventually those would probably go bad. Little magnets are operating those. We've got these things here. There's little, like little transformers, but they're, they make these diaphragms go back and forth and pump the air out. And then you get this one big battery inside. And of course, the box says it's a 4,800 milliamp hour lithium-ion battery, which if I look carefully, that is exactly what the battery says it is. So they're not just trying to lie to us and put something smaller in there. That's a good size lithium-ion battery in there. It's just like you'd have in a really big flashlight, or, like 5,000 of these in your Tesla, whatever it is. So there it is. That's pretty cool. Little circuit board. I like it. Very simple inside. Oops, now, you're not supposed to take this apart. Don't take this apart at home. There's nothing to repair inside. They're not going to sell you the diaphragms. If this stops working, get a new one. I don't know what else to tell you. You should not take this apart. I'm just doing this to see what's inside, so you don't have to. Okay, I did not break it. Back together. So if you want to get one of these for your aquarium, check out the link in the description below. I'll have that there, along with the other model of this, the 218, that's only got one port on it, in case you have a smaller aquarium and just don't need this much. But this one has a bigger battery too, so, you know, it's a trade-off. Just remember, if you do use one of these USB things, I would recommend one that has at least a 1 amp output on it. This one here has a lot of output on it. This has 2.4 amps per port. This is a 2-port one. This is definitely overkill for this, but I can put a link in the description to something that I think would work just fine. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to let this run for as long as it will run and try to figure out how long does it last on the full-blown mode with both ports bubbling the water. You don't want to watch that. So give me a second, I'll give you the answer. Almost 2 hours later, going strong. 4 bars of battery too. It's now over 14.5 hours. And there's still 2 lights on the battery. Okay, now it's 25 hours since I started this test. Still have 2 bars of battery. Okay, I've come back out here about 38 hours later, and it is off. So overnight, I missed it dying. Somewhere between 26 and actually more like 28 or so hours and 38 hours, because I saw it after the last clip. But there you go. That's pretty good. So I just want to wrap up here and say, hey, this is a great little air pump. I like it. It's quiet. It'll keep your fish tank going when the power goes out, keep the air in your tank, keep your fish alive. It's been really good for me. My test showed that it ran around 28 hours at least, and it should run a lot longer if it was in the pulse mode, and that could be really valuable when the power goes out on you to protect your fish. So if you think this is interesting, check out the link in the description below and give it a shot. See what you think, and let me know in the comments. Until then, remember everybody, keep it fishy and have fun. Thanks.